I like all the creatives on segways going about the place. It's good.
Oh,
it feels like you're at the...
It's like Google headquarters,
in
Japan.
Yeah.
You know, it's next level.
Vietnam with the camouflage like that too.
Vietnam, yeah. There's actually 4 lads hiding out in it. It's the Impractical Jokers. How are you? Micky Bartlett, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody give him a round of applause. They're all deaf.
Thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it.
Pay them less if they're deaf, so...
As you know, we just had a big fry, so I'm a wee bit sleepy.
I know. I almost feel like the two of us could just lie up here and just have a wee nap.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just put on fucking
What's
pan
your
pipes or
favourite
something.
film?
Do you want me to get the pan pipes out and we'll do a wee...
Have you got pan pipes?
No.
Oh, well then, no.
I'll make them out of something. I have pipes and I have a pan.
Pans, aye.
Just smack them off each other. You're heading to Australia?
I'm going to Australia next week. So, starting off in Perth, and then doing some sort of like roadshow stuff, and then finishing up in Sydney.
Sweet.
So I think it's the 21st of October. I'm in the Brisbane Hotel in Perth, which is confusing because it's the Brisbane Hotel, but it's in Perth.
Right.
And then on the 4th or 5th of November, I'm in the Comedy Store in Sydney for solo shows. So get tickets if you're out there.
That's unreal. I thought you were actually going over to like the Melbourne Comedy Festival or
No,
something.
so it's like it's the thing that the Sydney Comedy Festival do this roadshow tour stuff. So you basically go out and go like 5 or 6. You get on you want to call it a bus. It's not quite a bus. It's not quite a van.
Right.
But you just go out to like wee weird towns outside of big cities, do 20 minutes each. And
How many of you are going?
so for those tours, I think it's usually 4 acts. So when I'm seeing 3 acts usually.
Class.
And I just booked in a couple of solo shows while I'm out there.
That's brilliant. You've been there a few times before, haven't you?
Yeah, so I think it's 3 times before, 4. I think it's my 4th time. So I was supposed to do this in 2020 when COVID happened. So this has been kind of 2 years waiting to get back out. So can't wait.
Before you go, do you like make a few wee videos and stuff, pretending you're in Australia and being all like, to plug your shows and stuff, or do you just tweet about it, or do you
just Instagram? The thing that tends to happen is that so Instagram sells a good load of tickets anyway, but then you tend to sort of you'll be in the town you're doing the solo show in for about a week beforehand. So you basically do club sets about the place, promo it that way, and then hopefully it'll sell
almost
out.
like doing a wee spot at the Fringe before your solo show. You're
pretty
like,
much, yeah. You just
I'm on here at this time, come and see me.
Absolutely, and I think the clubs are all really good at advertising stuff, so you have a bunch of people out there who just want to go see shit.
Yeah. You enjoy it, eh?
Love it.
You love being down there?
Like any time I've come home, I'm in the airport like I don't want to go back.
Really?
Like the last time I remember standing outside because it was at the same time of year, so I was heading back like maybe start December. I was heading back out. I remember standing outside the airport just trying to like get in as much sun as I could because I'm like I'm not going to see this for 6 months. Do you know what I mean? and then it'll be for a day.
Yeah.
It's class, but I mean at the same time, I'm out there gigging, so it's not like I'm not having to pay for anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had to live out there, I might be like, this is expensive as shit, and you never feel uglier.
I imagine it's almost like in LA.
Everybody's right. Like everybody's a fucking right. I remember like one day I went down you do this like 5k walk from Coogee Beach to Bondi Beach. So I would I'll start off in Coogee, walk along the cliffs, it's all fucking scenic and gorgeous, and then I'll stop up and get a pint as a wee treat. And you're just watching these muscle-bound freaks. Like, can I get a whiskey and soda? And I'm like, there's 4 pints. And have you any chips? Just keep my top on the entire time. Like, oh no, I'll get roasted.
Would you not even go vest down there? No? Full
I'll go tank top. I'll get the fucking...
You have to.
Yeah, the BB guns out, like.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like the last time I was there, I met a couple we're actually really good mates with now. But they're both from Belfast, so I met them. I was basically doing the walk, putting on Instagram. And this guy messaged me like, mate, we live around the corner, do you want to go for a beer? I'm like, absolutely. And the two of them arrived, they're both fucking, like, PTs.
Fuck's
And I'm like, is there ever got a blanket or something? You know, just sitting with the cushion over my belly the entire time, like, oh, it's great, I do like it out here.
Just the table and just your head.
Yeah,
just
totally.
right on it.
Just fucking, can I have a whiskey and soda? Like, that's the gluten that bloats me.
We're talking about we're talking about boxing.
Right,
That's the thing on comedians' lips at the minute.
Yeah. So I've been trying to fucking purse this for years, right? So do you remember I don't even know what year it was, Kai Humphries and his brother organised a comedians boxing in England, right?
That. It was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. And they raised money for a wee fella that had cancer. See this wee lad's life. An amazing story, right? And the whole time watching it, I was like, fuck, I'd love to beat the fuck out of somebody. Like, no, but I just think like it'd be a great thing to do. like all the money goes to charity.
Yeah.
I think there's enough people here that have like
Once we get paid.
Oh yeah, obviously once we get paid. Like, yeah. The charity is
Corporate
my
fee.
rent.
Yeah.
But I just thought it'd be a good thing to do because with enough comedians in Northern Ireland that have a bit of a profile that you could sell out a decent sized room hopefully.
You really could, You really could.
Do you know what I mean? And then and again, it's not like fucking. No, initially I was like, a wee bit of crack, lads. Do you know what I mean? We'll just fucking train for a wee bit. We'll get in a bit of shape, have a bit of a laugh. And as soon as people started getting paired up, they were looking at each other weird.
Yeah, yeah.
So at one point somebody was like, it might be me and Mark McCartney because we're both kind of fat. Well, no, he's not. I am.
Both sexy.
Both sexy.
Sexy.
And I think McCartney may be like, oh, I'll laugh the whole way through this. We'll ha ha ha. And he was like, me and you, Mick, aye? And I went, I think so. And he just fucking like
straight away.
Shark eyes. And I was like, oh fuck.
Jesus Christ.
So I don't know. I think hopefully we'll get it sorted for January. I think that's what they're looking at.
And are we talking big venue here? What do you reckon?
I reckon we do the Ulster Hall.
Think so?
Do you know what I mean? I know somebody. I was talking about this on another podcast, and somebody was like, "You could go for the King's Hall," and then somebody else was like, "Man, you could do the SSE with this." Like,
where do you stop? Give Eddie Hearn a shout.
Fucking we'll all we'll do WWE. We'll just arrive on motorbikes and all. Fucking. But I just think it'd be a good thing to do. It'd be a good night's crack.
Yeah. And then just all go and get blocked after.
Absolutely, it'd be more of a staff do.
Yeah, yeah. But everyone would have black eyes and.
Yeah, you'll be drinking through straws.
Yeah.
Especially if I hit you.
It's fucking hospital beds just right beside each other.
Yeah, just drips filled with gin.
The comedy ward.
I thought it'd be great.
That'd be nice, wouldn't
it? I just think it'd be a nice thing to do, and like, it'll be I just think it'll be interesting to see who takes it the most seriously. Do you know what I mean? Because Johnny Bowe says he wants to get involved, and I'm like, let's secretly give you steroids.
Yeah, because there's not going to be a drug test.
Yeah, just take your dressing gown off. All of a sudden, like, what the fuck happened to Johnny? He's like, I will kill you.
Have you started thinking of your boxing name, Joe? The way everyone has a nickname.
It'll be something to do with psoriasis, probably.
Do you think so?
Great British Fleck Off or something. Yeah.
Fleck the Snake.
Yeah, fist of Flecky. Do you know what I mean? It'll be something like that.
Yeah.
But I imagine when I take the boxing glove off, I'd have to empty it.
Fuck. Straight in that bag and sell it. Cool.
Do whenever you finish a bag of crisps, you have that.
Oh, fucking hell. It's not that bad though, is it? It's not like look at your hands now. They're fine. Like.
I mean, it's still there, but it's got a lot better. Because I ignored doctor's advice. Big Pharma's a land.
You have to.
Man, the stuff they were filling me full of fucking poison, and it wasn't. The side effects of the drugs they were giving me was it makes your hands and the skin on your hands and feet peel, and I was like, that's what I have.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the condition. Like,
that's bad. I remember, like, I occasionally get like wee bits of red up each side of my nose here.
Aye.
And I remember it must have been 15, 20 years ago going to like dermatologists and going to the hospital and appointment after appointment, and them all trying to get to the bottom of it. And one day I drank loads of water, and the next day it had gone away.
I just really hydrated yourself.
So I just hydrated myself.
So I did a thing where like the same thing would be especially now because of like there's like COVID backlogs and all that sort of stuff. You end up with like the appointments are only 5 minutes long. So I was going, and I was really when this kicked off, I was like I had to cancel gigs, couldn't put shoes on. I was really really sick. I actually thought I had sepsis at one point. Thought I was dying, and went to dermatology. They're like, yeah, you've got psoriasis. We'll try these steroids. Come back in a couple of weeks if it doesn't get better. So went back like we'll try these steroids, and then it gets worse and worse. And then I didn't realize there's side effects to using steroids so much, so like my hands and feet get really muscly. But I started getting worse because when you come off the steroids, you then get withdrawals.
Right.
That looks worse than the psoriasis. So then they gave me these tablets, and they were like, right, you can't have kids when you're taking these because they'll fucking cause deformities in a fetus. Don't be drinking. Don't be fucking all this weird shit. And I was like, what's causing this? And they went, oh, your immune system's confused. And I went, by what? And they went, oh, we don't know. So I basically started like just researching stuff online, started looking after my gut health. And every 2 days I steep my hands and feet in salt water.
And it seems to do
and it's essentially they still look dry, but they look normal, they look like hands again. Like,
are you in pain or anything?
No.
No?
Can open bottles and shit, like, and can.
Brilliant.
Because that was the thing, like the hardest thing was like you couldn't when it was when it was raw, like so basically it would all sort of crack, and then the pills made the skin on your hand just come off. So it was like raw skin for months. So see washing your face with a beard, agony, because the hair's like needles.
It's gonna be
so painful, like.
Jesus Christ.
Even if I got to the point where I went for a piss and my pubes were a bit too long, I'd be like, what the fucking bastard, you piss everywhere. Like, the worst of it was when it was really bad. I was going for a shite one day, and I've told people this story before, so sorry if you've heard this already, but I was going for a shite, I wiped my arse, and my hand was like, I couldn't even bend my hands, and I went to check the paper to see if, like, you know what, how much wiping was left, and the toilet paper fell off my hand, landed on my leg, butter side down. And I just in my house covered in shit and blood. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how did this happen to me? I'm Micky fucking Bartlett. So yeah, it's hopefully that'll be sort of getting towards the end. Oh, Australia's going to help too with the sun and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Good old vitamin D.
Aye, vitamin D.
And you say you can't cook, you couldn't like...
Couldn't do anything. I couldn't clean the house. Fucking...
I think I have. Don't know if you're watching. Fucking hands just started.
There was times when it would be really bad. Like, I had to take my sock off. There would be just dry skin falling off my feet.
Really?
And my girlfriend would be like, "This place is disgusting." And I would go, "There's no point cleaning it because I'll hoover and then have to hoover where it was, and it's just this vicious cycle, just shedding skin."
It's like Hansel and Gretel.
Oh man, it was terrible.
Fucking hell.
Funny at the same time though.
Yeah.
And class at night you could pick stuff. It was deadly. Get that bit off.
Did you do material about it? Did you get anything?
I did tons.
So like, it's well worth it then, isn't it?
Well, that was the thing. I had material about it, and then it kind of got to the point where I was like, "Oh, this is actually boring me talking about it," because it's like it's all I've talked about for a year, and you like weirdly I was getting people messaging me being like, "Man, thank you so much for talking about I have psoriasis," and like no one talks about their all because people do just think you're a fucking freak. Like, do you know, like I wouldn't pay with cash the entire time I had it because you'd see people recoil. What the fuck's wrong with your hand? My nephew at one point wouldn't even talk to me. He was just like, "What the fuck's up with this guy?"
I think I would genuinely go into a wheelchair for 6 months if it got me a good 5 or 10 minutes on stage.
Oh, there's times, yeah, like there was weird shit I'd done with like, I went and did all these weird alternative therapies and stuff like that, and I felt bad because I had about 5 to 10 minutes material about that, but I was making fun of the alternative therapy when actually it worked better than the medicine.
Really?
So I was like, I feel guilty doing this.
Yeah. Did you do something? What was it? I don't know if you've ever talked about it before, and if you haven't talked about it, we'll cut it out. But it was like some retreat or something. Did you do something?
It was
ayahuasca or
it was
something?
it was like one below ayahuasca. So it's a thing called Campbell Therapy. So basically, what they do is the short version of this, and it sounds mental. It is kind of mental, but they basically burn holes in your skin,
right?
And then they take it's venom from a frog in the Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And they put it over the holes that's burnt into your skin, and then you just fucking bulk. But apparently, it's the idea is that it gets rid of all these kind of impurities and stuff in your gut and all this weird stuff. But then it also like the stuff itself's filled with like peptides and all these good things that immediately go into your lymphatic system. So what happened when it did that was, and the guy was honest, he was like, "Listen, this will be worse. It'll like for you'll have about 10 days where this is going to be worse than it ever was." And I remember getting it and then coming home being like, "Do you know what? I think I started to look better already." And the next day I was like, "What the fuck?" But then sure enough, like that has helped as well. Like,
yeah. Expensive though, is it?
It wasn't that dear. It was like €100 or something like that. Oh, and even the guy who did it, I don't like giving out his name because he likes to keep it kind of private. But, just a sound dude. So like, and it did sound weird. Where I was telling my girlfriend about it, I was like, "Yeah." So basically, I'm going to meet this guy in a car park in Donegal, and she was like, my girlfriend went, "You're going to get fingered." And I was like, "I'm not." And then I'm in the car park being like, "Fuck, I might get fingered here." And then the guy arrived, and he was just this real cool fucking hippie guy, and I was like, I kind of hope he does finger me. Like, I like this dude. So yeah, it was an experience. I would do it again 100%. Sort of, I had planned to go back and do another session of it, but because I'm traveling so much, just not having the time. But you bulk like fuck. I mean, you like
really?
you should watch videos of it. It's
so what happens? The what is it from a frog?
Yeah, the venom.
The venom.
So like, yeah, so they basically.
I didn't even know they had venom.
So it's from their skin, so it's not like it's
right.
whatever it is. And it's funny too. The guy was like, "Listen, all but he was telling me how the whole process works," and he was like, "What was the words he used?" He goes, "We don't hurt the frog, we'll just freak it out a wee bit." And I was like, "The fuck? What's that mean?" Like, am I gonna walk into your house and there's a frog tied to a chair with a ball gag in its mouth? Like, oh, fucking what? You know what I mean? Eyes pinned open, watching fucking JFK getting shot. What the fuck is this? So yeah, basically scrape this stuff off. And I've seen the videos actually are hilarious because there's videos where they'll tie the frog's arms and legs up. So it's all these wee guys in Peru like fucking.
The frog's not getting a massage.
Frogs sweating his balls off. What the fuck's going on here? But it's something I've recommended to loads of people. I did a podcast about it after I'd done it. The next day, you're instantly just in like a really good mood, and it's not trippy or anything. You don't fucking you're not like, man, isn't everything class? You're just like fucking buzzing. Remember, like music sounded amazing and all. I was like fucking
Class.
So it's definitely, and it was a weird thing because like I was talking to my girlfriend about it and other people, and they were like, they would go and Google it and go, this is fucking really bad for you. Like you know, apparently there's some people have died. You can't, if you have a heart condition, you shouldn't do it. Because I think the venom raises your blood pressure and then drops it really low, which is what makes you poke. But I was like, look at the side effects of the psoriasis medicine. It's 20 times worse than fucking potentially shit yourself in front of a hippie. Do you know what I mean?
See, if somebody says anything to me that mentioned the Amazon rainforest or anything, the Amazon fucking river or anything, I'd be like, all right, just do it. Just, you know, see if it's going to help me. Just fucking do it. I believe in all that. See all that shit from years ago.
The thing about it is, when it's like, because I was talking to Maureen Geddes about this, because obviously she had went through chemo and all that sort of stuff, and she made a great point about like things that are called alternative therapy or alternative medicine are the original medicine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like the modern day medicine comes from, oh fuck, these cunts used to grind up nettles. What's in that?
Yeah.
And then they try and make man-made versions of it or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. But I was reading a book about bushcraft. It was like 101 fucking bushcraft survival and stuff, literally the other night. And in it was a whole section about if you get a sore stomach, if you get the shits, if you get this, if you get that, and just fucking make this kind of tea, put berries in your water, do this here, boil this, fucking rub this in your skin. Literally everything that's available to us every day, do you know, out in the wilderness.
Well, that's another thing. I started moisturising with aloe vera gel instead of like moisturisers. And that's helped me fucking no end as well.
Brilliant.
After a year of like trying every fucking thing under the sun and being like, oh, salt water, aloe vera, and frog poison.
You hear man fucking frogs in there.
Sorry, fucking wee ball guys on.
Oh, fuck. So apart from that, you're in good health. You're
no, I'm a fat alcoholic country pub. It's the state of it.
Do you drink much?
Have you ever met me?
We keep saying we're going to go out for a pint. I know we did a while back, but we need to get out again soon. When Diona gets pregnant, I always like always the one time that she's got pregnant, I go full dry with her. Do you know, for the whole 9 months, like. So next time we're going to have a baby, I'm like, I need to fucking do this again. Do you know, for moral support.
May as well blow it out before, like.
So I may as well get something out of me before she gets pregnant again, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I went off the drink for about 2 months.
Shit though, isn't it? It really is shit.
To be honest, I loved it. It was great because I was fucking dropping weight, and because I'll go to the gym 3-4 times a week, and I'm like, why am I not losing any weight?
Because I don't get it. Kitchen.
It's because I'll drink like fuck, and then I'll eat shit when I'm drunk, and then when I'm down the next day, I'll eat shit the entire next day.
Yeah. I know the difference in having a few pints, literally fucking is the different. It's the equivalent of about 5,000 calories, isn't it? It's what you drink, and then it's what you snack on while you're drinking. Yeah. It's what you eat when you're finished. It's what you eat the next morning. Yeah. It's what you eat the next night.
Absolutely.
Even the day after that, because of our age, we're fucking
that's another thing too. That's definitely like when the fuck was I out? Thursday night I went out, and so it was one of those ones where like, do you know when you go, I don't want to do this, but there were so many people like fucking. So a couple of mates came over from Edinburgh, and then all of a sudden all the comedians in Belfast were staying out drinking, and I was fucking blasted drunk.
Really?
Like, I had a kebab at 3 a.m. And the only reason I know is because I burped and went, I had a kebab last night, and then I found the receipt. No way. I swear to God, have you ever been drunk so drunk you forgot a meal? Like, right, so it was 5 to 3 in the morning, I got a kebab somewhere. I found a photo on my phone of me sitting upright in this hotel, top off, like side on, being like, the fucking size of your gut, you fat cunt. Then the next day, I get a write-off. Like, I counted up, I had, and this is disgusting, I had 2 bottles of Lucozade, I had a tin of Red Bull, I had 4 tins of Coke. Then I had a wee mini cheeseburger out of a garage, portion chicken goujons, and then I got a salted chili box out of the Chinese that I couldn't eat because it was so full of all the shit that I had earlier on. Then over the course of the night, I just kept going back to it until I eventually near enough finished the whole fucking thing. Then I had like half a bag of Doritos coated fucking peanuts, a load of Haribos, and ice cream.
Jesus Christ.
And the next day I'm like, why am I fat? I don't understand, I've been skipping.
That's my week's fucking calories.
Man, 100%. It was absolutely. And I weighed myself and I went, oh, I lost 1.5 stone before I went on holidays in July. I put about half a stone back on from being out and working, and then I weighed myself and went, oh, I put a stone on a week.
Well, how do you find weighing yourself? Why do you weigh yourself?
Just to see. I don't really do anything about it.
You just go.
Aye. Oh, fuck,
Right.
there we go. Okay, right. We're going to throw an X on that top. I'll just do it. I don't do it all the time, but I'll do it if I'm like, if I've been working out a good, I'll maybe do it once a week, just to go, what difference has it made? But I do need to. I mean, look at the fucking size of my gut. I need to, like, because you just get that point when you're in your 30s and you go, like, I heard a comedian talking about it where like partying and all that stuff's class, right? But it just means you're going to have a really shitty second half of your life. Do you know what I mean? If I don't start really fucking focusing on things now, in 5 years I'll be 40.
Yeah.
And it's like, your brain will just go, just die, you're 40. That's what happens to everybody that I
just keep partying until
do you
you
know what I mean?
fucking
And then
go in about 5 or 10 years.
Like, there's flip sides. I know people that are like in their 50s and 60s still drink like fuck and you go, they're some of the lucky ones. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like, a fucking, my skin went, calm down. And I was like, but why? But no, I'm 17.
Yeah, but when you have no dependence, do you know what I mean?
That's the thing, man. I think part of me is like, I
It's
should
the
probably
time,
have a
like-
kid to try and live longer.
Yeah,
Because
that's when you start. Well, you don't decide for yourself. It's the decision's made for you.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? You have no choice.
Yeah.
You have to fucking be healthier to stick around.
that's the thing, like,
But then do you find as well, like I find with doing stand up too, I would like train quite a bit and run and do all these things and try and really look after myself. And then I'm on stage and I'm like, why do I do that? You know, why it's not known to be like fit and comedy doesn't go together. Do you know what I mean? Or being healthy, it's the stories are in. Oh, I was fucking blocked, or I was
not
hungover,
really. I mean,
or-
it depends. It depends on what kind of stuff you do. Like, because like Kevin Hart is insanely fit. Bill Burr's in really
But then
good
he
nick
has
as well.
those
Like,
wee height, doesn't he? That you
well,
can
it's
make
like,
fun
but then
of,
Dave
you know.
Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle, yeah, is a fucking stoner, but he's still a buff as fuck stoner.
Is he? Aye?
Joe Rogan, like, so there's like, you can tell stories of being fucked. It's a weird. I think sometimes it's weird in that, yeah, there's definitely points where an audience might look at the entire package and go, oh, it's funnier if you look like a loser. But then that's only if you're trying to do stuff about being a loser when you don't look like one.
Yeah.
Do you know, if I do stuff about how fucking desperate my life is, it's because I'm telling the truth. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna shit on my knee, like.
That's true. You did watch it though, didn't you?
Aye.
Yeah. Wait.
It was like, ow, 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 ow.
Spit in your hand.
Aye.
Fuck.
I was fucking horrible, yeah. Just straight from the bog into the bath.
Jesus.
It's the name of my new autobiography. My back fat's hanging out the back, I just realised that. Jesus Christ.
You're alright.
You
You and your Uncle Sean's. You're right.
Jesus, aye.
Let yourself go. But I watched Zach Galifianakis recently. I've seen his special that's on the Purple Onion on
Yeah,
Netflix.
that's great, that one.
Quite a few times, and when I watch it, I'm like, I want to do that, or I want to be like that. Do you know what I mean? But he is almost like, I think what makes it funny is that he gets on like he's a fucking train wreck.
Aye.
Do you know when he has the hair and the beard and his gut, and he's fucking miserable, and it's almost like he's a down and out loser. But it works for him. He's played it to his advantage. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I
Aye.
feel like that's my style of humor. But I can't do that because I look after myself and I try and look good and stuff, and it's like,
Well, then just stop trying to look good. You can look after yourself
know.
and just wear something stupid.
I think so.
Do you know what I
I
mean?
think so.
Like, immediately, if you put on a
Thin line.
floral shirt, dickhead.
Halfway there,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there's things, because I think, like for fat lads, it's always, like, the black t-shirts, as best as you can look.
It's always black on top.
It's always black, like, so you can
Always,
kind of
yeah.
half get away with stuff, like, but,
The Ricky Gervais, isn't it?
yeah. But it's weird, because, yeah, there is that kind of, like Zach Galifianakis, yeah, definitely is one. Patton Oswalt's another one, where all his whole identity is about being fat. But it's also weird, because a lot of my stand-up's, like, about just embarrassing sex.
Yeah.
So I'm technically on stage going, like, I'm a top shagger. So I can pull, like, or I could.
I remember me and you. Hopefully your girlfriend doesn't watch this back and is offended. But I remember one night you were.
Text me this before you.
Yeah. One night we were coming home from a gig. I think it was like McHugh's or something. We were driving through Belfast city centre, and you were driving. I was in the passenger seat, and every traffic lights we stopped at, you were texting away like fuck to some girl.
Right.
And I think you were sexting. I think. Do you mind me talking about this?
I mean, it depends.
So you were texting away, right? And then every traffic light, you were getting your phone out. You were fucking texting like fucking as all green, Mick, and you were like, right, okay. And you put the phone down. You were driving away, and you got to the next traffic light. You were texting away, and then you stopped for about 5 seconds, and then you go, quick, how do you spell tongue? Do you remember?
I was joking when I said that because I remember I was trying to break the tension. Right?
Were you fucked?
I sort of fucked because I remember thinking of a thing of going like having a bit of you're trying to fucking sex before autocorrect. I'd be like, do you know how embarrassing this is to say? I can't wait to tease you with my tongue.
Your tongue. That's what I'm going to call a tongue.
I'm going to tongue your life at you.
I'm going to teach Winter that. She goes into crash. That's our tongue. Nobody knows what she's talking about. It was funny because 5 seconds later I actually got a text from you going, do you want my tongue when you're
yeah.
It's weird. It's like, just tell me.
Why is this door open, Mick? Shh. We're going to Bill Cosby's house.
Relax and enjoy the tongue.
It's one thing I do not miss being in my 30s, so I was trying to fucking go out like on the pull again.
It's shite.
Like fuck
it's
that.
Shite.
It's so shit. Like I remember like there's times because I used to just do this. I would just be like, here, do you want to go with me? No, do you want to go with me? Do you like? I was never after the ride. I was only after just a wee Kurt, and then I would go, "What's a wee Kurt? I can go back to drinking. That's grand. That's all I need to do. I just want to know if I've still got a wee bit of a fucking." I remember one night like being in Lavery's. I'm going up to this girl. Excuse me, and she went, "I have a boyfriend," and I was like, "I would just stand in front of my pint." And I remember going, "That's how ugly I am." Is it? Because if you'd have walked up there, she'd have been like, "Well, what's the?" She actually didn't have a boyfriend. Like you could tell. I could tell by the way she was looking about the place. She didn't have a boyfriend, but because I came up, she was like, "Yuck," like Terminator vision, tits, seen hairline, crap shoes. I have a boyfriend.
Fucking hell! I don't know. I'm glad I'm not single. I'm fucking glad. But something like me and Diona met before Tinder came out.
Aye.
And I think the two of us have this thing where it's like, what would Tinder be like? Joe, just to go, it would be like playing Guess Who almost, wouldn't it? For the general public.
Tinder now is terrifying.
And imagine, yeah.
I have a bit about like being on Tinder when it first started, and everybody on it was like, "This is weird, isn't it?" It's like, but it was kind of exciting, and now it's so normal that it's just fucked up. Like anyone I know on Tinder is just there's bots on it that just send dick pics.
Oh really?
Do you know what I mean? And there's like creepy cunts with fake accounts sending just so any woman I know who's on Tinder, it's just like it's a nightmare.
Have you ever been on it?
Loads of times, yeah.
Do you not feel like though because of what we do? Like I think even if I was single, it would put me off being on it because we're in the public eye.
It depends what you mean by public eye, because I don't consider myself in the public eye. I'm on social media and I do stand up, and I'm kind of well known in Northern Ireland. But the public eye, that idea to me is bullshit. That's people going.
But
like,
that's where Tinder is. You
No,
know?
but the public eye to me, that's the people go, I'm allowed to know everything about you because you do stand up. And I go, that's not how it works. So, just to address that, not that we're just famous, it's different. Right? But the Tinder, whenever you're like, as a comedian, it either works for you or it's against you. Because I've had a couple of times with girls who are like, so you still doing stand up down the Empire or whatever? And I'm like, yes, getting the red. But yeah, I think it's definitely got weirder now again, because I know, like, I was talking to I'll not use his name just in case he doesn't want people to know about it, but a comedian we know who was on Tinder was saying that he started getting messages. He matched with some girl, started chatting to her, and then her brother was like, "Here, lad, the fuck you do messaging my sister?" And it was this kind of, it became a thing of like, oh, you're just messaging him because it's him, as opposed to actually wanting to go out with him or fucking date him or whatever. Plus, when you get older, man, all the women are stinking on it. Like,
see, I'm thinking that as well. I think surely, I've genuinely never been on Tinder, but I'd imagine you put in like the age range.
Yeah.
So once you get to our age, there's kids involved.
What I found happens is, first of all, you'll put a bit in, and then because you just swipe, because you'll be lying in bed bored.
Yeah.
You swiping like fuck, and then you'll run out of people in the catchment area, so you start going like, I'll go a bit further away. What's Derry? Fuck it. And then you're like, where? I go to Ecuador. And then when you run out all those people, you're like, I mean, 50's alright. Like, because you're just looking at photos. You're not.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just a wonder.
Yeah. But you not see photos like Facebook profiles and stuff now, and even Twitter, Instagram and stuff. And as soon as you see it, you're like, "Fuck off! That's not you."
Oh,
You know,
100%,
if you see them on Tinder, you would.
It's definitely a thing that, like, I think people younger than us that have had social media their entire adult lives have just a different fucking mindset. And like we would have had profile photos where it might have been you looking as good as you can look, or like fun. Yeah, I'm holding it tight. But now there's like there's this, you know, that weird face that girls make, especially where it's like they're kind of like, it's this thing like.
Yeah.
I'll just feel it. Do that weird kind of mouth open fucking dead eyed thing. There's something about that winds me up.
Just press pause.
Because I just look at photos like that and go, how seriously do you take yourself?
Yeah.
And it's the same with guys doing that like smouldery thing.
I hate guys that stick their tongue out or do this.
Yeah.
And I hate most people now. I really do. I really do. I go through TikTok now just going, fuck off.
I absolutely.
Off.
I am obsessed with certain people on TikTok because I'm going, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a girl my girlfriend follows on TikTok, and she's a Scottish doll who, like, she has no followers. She's about 5, but every morning she's on TikTok. Morning, everybody. Right, talking about her whole day, and I'm like, nobody's following this.
Yeah.
And then I won't follow her because I don't want her to have a follower, right? But I'm typing her name in, and I'm watching it, and I'm going.
It comes up though, doesn't it? When if you click into somebody's
Probably.
profile, it comes up on their profile.
It might do,
Yeah.
but I'm like watching it, like, and I just find myself going, "The fuck are you doing?" Like,
I know.
and it's the people that are on it that are like that think they're sexy.
Do you think people too have become so self-obsessed?
It's so
like
and
this new generation.
It's insane that 2 comedians are going, "You're fucking obsessed yourselves."
I know.
Like the fact
But
that
this is a whole new level.
like we walk into a room full of strangers and go, "Everybody shut the fuck up, listen to my story."
Yeah, Daddy's talking.
Do you know what I mean? And I want money for it. But these cunts are doing it for free. Like there's a weird thing of like, there's bound to be times if you saw me looking at some people on TikTok on my phone, you go, "That's a creepy old cunt." Or that's a psycho. He's going to shoot somebody because I'm just. And it's, to be honest with you, it's not out of hate. It's out of like a worry for them. Because like I know how insane it is to do stand up and how hard it is and how much shit you take for it. And then I see people just like all they do is eat their dinner in a camera.
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect when people are slagging you off?
Yeah. It's
Do you know what I mean?
It's the
Like,
new normal though.
It's so weird.
Like,
I'll never get used to it.
Yeah, I come across like fellas and they're all, "So guys, good morning to everyone. Just woke up today. Just going to talk you through my day and just went for a poo, made a coffee. You know, I was tired kind of morning, so I made another coffee.
Right.
Man, you gotta need that boost in life. And had a coffee, went and got a haircut. Go to my man Michael. He cuts it every Thursday at 2:00. Shout out to my man Michael. Get down to Castle Road, guys, and you're just like, what are
Who
you?
gives a
What are
fuck?
you giving people
Yeah.
here? What's being achieved here for anyone?
It blows the people that watch it. I go, that's even weirder. It's been so fucking weird because I keep thinking social media is the bubble's going to burst, and as long as I've been doing,
I think.
yeah, but it's like I've always said, like, I only have social media to sell tickets. That's. Do you know what I mean?
It's to keep you in the shop window.
Yeah, if I wasn't doing stand up, I just wouldn't have it anywhere near me.
Yeah, but is that because of our age? Are we, Joe? Is it
That's
now
the thing.
catered
I think it's like
towards the younger generation?
Oh, it's
now?
like, I mean, you look at TikTok, it's catered toward kids. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And the things that, even the fact that it's such a nasty algorithm. So like, when you first put a TikTok up, you'll get loads of hits on it because it's trying to get you hooked.
Yeah.
So then eventually it'll start. Your hits will go lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
And then, like, I think one of the things I put up that has the most hits on TikTok was, I was like, oh, I saw your girlfriend in London, and I went to London for a couple of days. I just did things girls do, like, do those weird like, and like pretend to do boomerangs and stuff. And people are like, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Then I put stand up things that I've crafted and worked on and honed, and I was like, oh, 2 people like this.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
And again, it's because it was trending. The algorithm's like, oh yeah, we'll just feed this to everybody.
Yeah.
But
do you believe in this thing that it was obviously invented by the Chinese TikTok, that it was made for the Chinese people to promote themselves and their successes and how brilliant their kids are, and
Aye.
it's like the algorithm there is pushed towards kids who are like achieving really fucking outstanding feats, and then you go over here and they've pushed the algorithm to just make people successful who just fucking copy a dance or lip sync.
I'd heard something about that. It's I don't know. I just feel like I've never understood how data can be important, but the fact that people keep trying to sell it's putting the fucking wigs up me.
Yeah,
And like what? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and
Do you can go on Google now, like our Google Maps or whatever, and it literally lists every single place that you've been. Joe, your phone
oh
in
yeah,
your
man,
pocket.
yeah. I would like. I had a weird thing. I type like, apparently according to Google, I'm worth something like 2.5 million, and I am I'm not even worth 2.500. So it's weird how like algorithms are putting those things together and being like, oh, he's a millionaire. No, I'm fucking not. Also, Google still thinks I'm 25, so I am. Google is basically the success story I wanted to be when I was 24. But I don't like how dependent people are on it now.
Yeah. It's people's entire lives now.
Yeah, like I have constant arguments with my girlfriend about I don't put any of my personal life on social media because I use it strictly for comedy.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that she'd be like, "But you pretend you're single." I'm like, "I'm not. I'm pretending I'm a comedian."
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that how people get sucked into it and thinking that it's real. It's because it's not real life.
Yeah.
Like have you ever had a conversation with I don't know, well, you probably haven't with Fiona because she's like in the arts as well. But I've had 3 or 4 relationships where a girl has said the words to me, "You didn't like my Instagram photo today," and I'd be like, "I'm sitting beside you and you showed me it. I fucking told you I liked it." I went like that. "Oh, it's lovely." And now you're reason I didn't go. Sorry, we're in the same room. 2 seconds.
Fucking.
How's that for you? But like, it gets into people's heads, and then I could rant about it for ages and never make any sense.
Do you know what though? I find myself even
I'm just gonna apply some lube or something.
work away. Even recently, right? I'm talking fucking 2 weeks ago. I went into Instagram one day and it came up like 3 wee hearts at the top, and I was like, "Fuck, who liked that?" And then I caught myself on, and I was like, "What does it matter?
Aye.
What does it fucking matter? Like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes in
That
your
was
life."
the thing that like so I came off Twitter during lockdown and didn't go back on it.
Twitter shit.
Because Twitter was a thing where like, and I remember it being a thing. Sorry, hold on a wee second. Just do this. Thank you. Cheers, Sean. This is great. 1-2 podcast.
Just frog jizz, isn't it?
You going to all over here? You alright?
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Okay.
I would take a wee bit if, just for the laugh, like just to
Do you know what I've
wash
done?
my hands.
I've put too much on there. I'm not slippy.
Have you?
Hold on, just wait. I'm going to the surgery.
Hey, my stomach.
Is that your blue belly? You do a poo?
Yeah. It was in between my arsehole and my stomach. What's
Oh,
that
the
there?
colon, is it? The colon?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hold off. It was a fucking.
Hold on. Thank you. I'll try and touch this on the bottom too so it doesn't
Work away.
all fucking gross.
That's what she said.
What were we talking bitching about social media?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
I
I just-
fucking hate it.
That's what I said about Twitter. I remember us, we used to put jokes on Twitter and you could kind of judge whether or not it was good based on how many likes it was getting from comedians, and that isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I've caught myself doing it with Facebook. We'll put a status up and then I'll go through how many comedians put a laugh emoji on this to see if it's worth fucking talking about. And then I found myself going, "Oh no, I'm never going to talk about that because I've just put up the most boring status in the world." And comedians have gone, "That's funny that you're pretending to be on Facebook," and I'm like, "I don't know, I was in a whole doesn't matter."
Yeah, I don't know if many comedians even fucking like. Do you know what it is most? This is away from what I was just talking about. I post up the odd time like a photo of Winter, my daughter, or I'm saying that for the audience. I know you know who she is, but or the odd video or something like that.
Just the snow on winter.
Just Winter, just a wee fucking.
It's just dark at 5:30.
And the amount of people that I'm going to say come out of the woodwork, but people that I didn't even know were following me, or local people, or you know that just all of a sudden it's like they're all liking or fucking sharing or commenting, and I'm like, where the fuck are you when I'm trying to build my career in stand up? Do you know what I mean?
You bad
Just here for a lovely wee baby photo. Fuck off.
100%. There's it's like I like look at my Instagram and I go, if every one of you bought 1 ticket,
Aye.
I'd be laughing.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully
about
they'd be
4
laughing.
years are buying ticket.
Yeah.
No, fucking, if every one of them bought a ticket, I'd be like, I'm not even telling jokes. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be here. Instagram's a lie.
You also guys, I woke up this morning at 8:10. Shit on my knee.
Went down and got a haircut, 2 o'clock, Castle Street. Shout out to my man, Mick.
You were talking there about being like 24 compared to now. If you could go back, maybe you're 34,
35,
35. Would you have any advice for yourself from like that if you were to go back and do things differently, or if you were just maybe starting out in stand up?
I don't know. Like, there'd be a couple of fucking outfits that have been don't wear it.
The waistcoat?
Yeah, I'd be like, don't wear
Yeah.
it. The hooded waistcoat.
We all go through that though.
I'd be like, don't.
Do you ever look through old stand up photos like the
Man,
pavilion? I have a
fucking
fucking full album and all.
There's a video of me doing the fucking SSE with Paddy Hegarty, and I'm wearing a medium-sized t-shirt with my belly. I'm so fat, my belly button's poking through it. I've got a hooded waistcoat, big baggy jeans, and like big giant white trainers, and a shaved head, and I look fucking horrible. And I remember at the time being like, "Oh, this is funny," because again it was back that like, "Oh, you look like you're like a piece of shit." And then I'm looking at the jokes, going, "You could have done that in a suit, and you'd have been famous in the morning. You'd have been loaded like
Just what you were wearing.
just when I just looked like shit." I think that's about it. Like, I mean, in terms of like, would you fucking want to go like write every day, or I think everybody just have to find your own way of doing that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think I'm like we were talking before here, but now saying like Joe 2 or 3 times a year I consider giving up stand up.
No.
But I feel like for me, I'm a kind of all or nothing kind of person. But at the same time, I'm getting to the point where I know that my mental health is the most important thing from suffering ill mental health and stuff in the past, and just fucking over evaluating everything and being anxious and all this here. And I feel like I've got to the point now where it's almost impossible for me to be happy career wise. Do you know, I think it's because I've had so much rejection. I mean, fucking so much rejection throughout my career. But I feel like I've got almost like an inner peace where I'm just like, do you know what? Whatever happens, happens. There's no point in me going hell for leather, because that involves me being away from home 6 or 7 nights a week. And although the money's good, I get to lose that kind of family life that I enjoy and crave, and that so many other people not in my position would also crave, you know. So I almost feel like I've weighed up everything over the past maybe 4 or 5 years, and I've got to a point where I'm just like, do you know what? I'm earning a living doing stand-up or doing comedy in general, you know, writing and fucking voiceovers and everything else that I do, but I feel like I've got to the point now where if my agent phoned me and says, here, you're doing live at the Apollo next week, I'd be all, really? Do I have to go over and fucking be anxious for the next 2 weeks? And
I'll be all, here, I'll do it.
Mickey,
I ain't got no kids. Fuck that. Fucking right, for nothing. I give you money.
would you see that just doesn't
It's weird. I think it depends on like.
does nothing for me anymore.
I think
Really
there's been a
doesn't.
like, because I kind of, in terms of fucking like chasing a career in it, just coasted. I was always sort of, remember my plan was always like, right, just like get good in secret, and then when you land over at England, they're like, where the fuck was this guy?
This guy came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then you would go over, and that might happen, and then you have to fly home and forget about you, because that happens a million times a night.
Yeah. 100%.
I kind of agree on the sense of like the idea of doing live, like the idea of doing stand up on a specific TV show now. I'm like, I don't really care about that, because it would be a case of, right, what clean material do you have? And I go, now none.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I don't have anything that I could comfortably bring that TV show and go, right, this'll work and not get fucking.
Unless somebody's watching that wants to get you on, Joe, you'll think of something like.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I can write a joke about anything. Like,
yeah.
I had a meeting with this agent at one point, and he was talking about trying to get me on Mock the Week. And he's like, do you do any political material? And I was like, no, but I can. Like, I've been doing stand-up 15 fucking years. Like, I can write jokes about anything.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just prefer talking about my dick. but it's an odd thing. Like, for me, I think I'm the opposite in the sense of stand-up's the only thing stand-up calms me down. Like, when I'm on stage, I feel like, oh, this is fucking, it's my happy place. Like, you know, if I haven't gigged for a week or so, I get fucking antsy.
Oh, I'm the same, yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I reckon if they went, you can never earn money from stand-up again, I'd probably still do it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would or not. I did a gig on Saturday night there in Ben Madigan's in Belfast, and it's the first I'd gigged in about 3 weeks. And it was fine because, you know, it was at that time the Queen had died and stuff, and I did that gig with Micky Bartlett, and it was fucking the bar got death threats and all this here shit and all that stuff because of the video I put out, which I talked about in the last episode or two. But I was like, right, I'm happy for this fucking just the Queen stuff to all pass, you know. And then I got really sick. I had a bug for about 3 or 4 days, and I was violently ill. And then I got to the point where it was like I got better last Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. So by Friday or by Saturday, I was like, right, it's gig time again.
Aye.
And I went and did the gig, and it almost felt like it was an open mic spot. Do you know, I felt really rough around the edges, and really just fucking like the material just wouldn't go into my head. Whereas if I'm gigging 2-3 times a week, which I did right up to when I stopped there, I feel like I could do it every night of the week.
Oh, you have, yeah.
Fucking buzz off it, and I feel right at home. Do you know, for a wee shy lad from Lurgan who I was always part of the crowd, never wanted anyone to know my name.
Aye.
The feeling that I am fucking on home and I'm at home on stage and I'm loving this and I'm fucking owning it and all this here stuff. But it's weird that in the space of a couple of weeks I go from feeling like that to feeling like
it happens
I'm in an open spot again.
I know it, like, I remember right before lockdown kicked in, I was gigging so much that I was turning up the gigs and I wasn't writing a set list, I was just going on and kind of getting that weird thing of like, it wasn't even a tight set. I'd be going like, what else? Fucking, oh here, is this funny? And I'd just be having these conversations on stage.
They're the best ones though.
Unreal. But then lockdown happened, and then what, a year? Well, probably wasn't a full year, maybe what, 6-7 months between lockdown and like doing like Victorio's gigs in the back garden. And I was standing around the front of his house smoking fags, like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. It happens that way. I mean, I've always said about Edinburgh, like when you go to the Fringe, if you go just thinking, I'm just coming here to get better, you have a much better Fringe.
Yeah.
Because you come home fucking bulletproof.
Yeah. You're in a different level.
Yeah, 100%.
And
You're just it's just match fit, like.
Yeah, it shows too when you see lads coming back and you're gigging with them again. You're like, fuck me, you can tell they've.
Aye.
It's like boot camp almost, isn't
Definitely. I mean, there's definitely things that happen. Like guys I know who've like went to London or New York, or whatever, from Ireland, and they're gigging 3 times a night, and they come back and they might have only generated 7 minutes of material because they're only getting 7-minute spots. I remember seeing Colin Tyrrell at Edinburgh when he'd been in New York about 1.5 2 years, and seeing him doing a 7-minute spot. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like,
just
consistent. Just fucking every night. I think that's just all you have to do. And it's like I just always think like the trick to the mental health side of stand up is just go, am I better than I was last year? Because that's all you can control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't had that many rejections because I haven't fucking put myself out looking for. Do you know what I mean? I've never actively chased anything, really. I've just been like, I'm just going to try and get better.
So do you just let things come to you then?
You have to, man, because it's like, you could drive yourself insane, but like I can sit here and go like fucking, I have mates who are selling out the SSE that I started with, or started before, and I'm like, if I let that make me jealous or you just go fucking insane. All you can do is go, right, is this show better than last year's show? Because that's the only bit you can control. That's just the way I look at it.
I've really got to the point recently where I'm just thinking to myself, this is just a wee shitty bar in Ballymena. Do you know what I mean?
Doesn't matter, because it's still like, I remember again talking to a friend of mine, because I think about quitting every day. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, fuck comedy, and then I'll look at the clock, well, it's 11:45.
8 hours till showtime.
Like, I've had a couple of moments like that. I remember walking through Botanic train station one morning, so I'd gigged in the Empire, I think. No, it wasn't the Empire. It was Queen's, but it was for a Magners thing, and they paid me in cash. So the next morning, I'm walking through the train station, I've got a hangover and stuff, I'm like, fucking hell. And there's people just running to work. Like you're like scooting past. You can see people with a raincoat and an umbrella and a lunchbox. And I had £500 cash in my wallet, and I remember going, that's about half a month's wages. And these cunts are panicking, and I'm like... So, to me, it's like... That's the other story I always think of is I had a mate. One day I was like, he goes, how's comedy going? And I was like, man, I don't know, I might fucking think about quitting. He's like, I'm working like fuck, and I'm broke, I'm skint. And my mate went, yeah, but you love your job? And I went, yeah. He goes, right, he was working security in the airport at the time. He was like, I fucking hate my job. I'm working flat out, and I'm skint. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? It's that thing of like, if you find something you love, you never work a day in your life. That is a golden rule, like.
Yeah. We're so fucking...
talented, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say blessed, but I don't believe in anything like that.
No, but it is the thing. Like, I mean, it's...
Yeah.
And again, like, you know, there's times you see people doing stand up and you go, you should quit this for your mental health. You know what I mean? You like, how many times have you seen people that die, that never do well, ever, never get a laugh, and they're still at it 5-6 years later, and you're like, what the fuck are you? You're as bad as those mad TikTokers, like.
Yeah, I seen somebody in the pavilion one night coming off stage shaking, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't know what to say to this person because they died in their hole, and they're all, man, see the rush you get doing that, I fucking love that, I can't wait to get up again. And I'm like,
but that's the difference. Like, it's fair enough. There's like fair enough if people go to open mics and like doing it, that's grand. But it's when those people who go to open mics, die on their ass, don't know they've died on their ass, and then start going, here, can you get me on at Larry's, or can you get me on the Empire? And you go, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you go, what? And it's, like, the industry does that too. Like, I always tell this story as well. I did a TV show in Scotland a couple of years ago, and they had this diversity quota thing, but it was the diversity quota from London, right? So they basically ended up having to have more women of colour, like a higher percentage of women of colour on the show than actually lived in Scotland, right? Do you know what I mean? So it was like, it didn't make sense. And so because they had to do that, they were just grabbing open micers. You're a woman and you're brown, get on the fuck. You're, right? It was kind of like when we did Find Me the Funny, we were ticking boxes.
Yeah.
And I was like, when you tick boxes, you get somebody who might not be mentally fucking well, who is doing stand-up, eating shit, doesn't know has no idea they're down in their hole, and then all of a sudden they're on TV, and in their head they're like, what am I going to wear on Live at the Apollo? Yeah. Like, when am I getting Netflix specials? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Did that get real depressing and very passionate?
No, not
like,
at all. No.
It's just always the thing where I'm like the industry doesn't necessarily care about people. What I'm saying is, the likes of us, the trick for me anyway is just, is it better than last year's show? Write an hour a year. It's only a minute a week.
True, yeah.
And then all you have to do is go, right, okay, I'll just be better. And it isn't. You know what I mean? Like this show I toured there, the 35. I probably put it together for 3 months, so it wasn't that great. So I go, well, that's not the year's show. That's not the year's work. That's just a part of it.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I think I'm all full of caffeine there. Just fucking talk that different. But what have we been in here? Fucking blacked out.
I'm high on aloe vera. It's nice. So what's the end goal then? Now
we're in a different fucking topic altogether. I have no idea. That's where my plan falls apart. I go, I don't know. I have no idea.
That's fine. No, it's good to be like that. I have no idea. I have not one dream, not one goal, not one aspiration for stand-up. I'm just going like...
Oh, then you shouldn't. You should quit then. If it, like,
think so?
I have aspirations for it. I just don't know what they are. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I remember having a really weird like mental health slump after I'd done the SSE with Hegarty.
Right.
So I was 25 when I did that. And I remember drinking with Rory Ward and going, I've nothing to aim for now. And he went, what the fuck are you talking about? I went, I know how that feels. And I'd never wanted to do big rooms. I wasn't thinking about the money. I just always wanted to know what it felt like.
Yeah.
So, smashed it, and was like, I know how it feels like just crushing an arena, and now I don't know what to fucking do.
Like, how do you surpass that?
It took me a while to get over it. It was like, all right, okay, you have to fucking...
I think that's probably one of the reasons why I don't set goals for myself anymore, because if I reach them, then you have a couple of days, maybe a week, where you're fucking cloud nine because of it, but then you're right back to going... Now what?
Well, I remember that was the thing too, that SSE one. The next gig I had after that was in Castledurg, and I was standing on a table with a bit of carpet over the top of it. Like wobbling.
We've done some shit.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I remember me and you doing a gig once, standing on I think 2 or 3 tables.
Well,
to a bar to about 30 people.
Aye.
Yeah.
Man, you'd have loved to have had 30 people at the start of this.
I know.
I'll never get over that one we did in I was forgetting the name of the bar. It used to be the Master McGrath. What's it called now? Is it Cheers? Cheers?
JP's?
JP's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing one like that's with the guy, and people don't believe this happened. The guy grabbed me in the bog with his dick out. I was like, if you make fun of my niece again, I'll fucking kill you. I went, who was your niece? And he goes, she wasn't here. That's not the point.
There she's there.
I went, what a langer, man. So I was like, that Mike. Sort of going, like Blackbird in the end. Like, there's been... Fuck, I remember the one we drove down to Dublin for. Neither one of us had a smartphone or sat-nav. So we just parked the car in the middle of Dublin and went, walking around listening for a room that sounded like a gig was happening. And it was all Germans.
It's so fucking sad to even know that like we didn't have sat-nav or anything.
Well,
Like,
that's how long we were like.
older.
I
know.
Oh Christ! The
I
amount of
remember-
fucking.
I remember saying to my lads the other day, like over the weekend there, I was like, oh, I remember we used to have to go up to Extravision and
Rent a
rent a
DVD.
DVD, and they were all, what do you mean? And I was like, do you know the way now, like a series comes out, and you're just like, count to 5 and I'm watching it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas we used to have to fucking go and the thing
Spend
was
the whole fucking spend an hour going. I don't know. Like,
walking up and down the aisle.
Your man,
going to
go,
crime
your
and
man,
film.
dad, go. You can get one, and you're like. You end up getting the same thing you seen last weekend. Kickboxer 2 again.
But you used to go up and you'd be like, oh, there's a new film out, and then they'd be all, it's not available for about another 3 weeks.
Aye.
And you're all, for fuck's
Well,
sake.
I remember
And then
me
you
and
just
my
get
mate-
Home Alone 2 again.
Me and my mate going up to get a PlayStation game out of Extraversion,
Even renting games.
and he talked me into getting this thing called Syndicate Wars. I'll never get over this. I haven't. It's been 20 odd years. Like I still see him, and every so often I go, remember that fucking game? And so I was my PlayStation, so I was like, right, let's get a 2-player game because you couldn't play online.
Yeah.
So it was like, right, 2-player game, we can both play. We can enjoy ourselves the whole fucking weekend, right? And there was like, I think it was maybe like a Mortal Kombat game or something, and there was a couple ones that looked pretty good. He's like, what about this? It was a game called Syndicate Wars, right? And the front cover is like a robot with a laser gun. And I'm like, what's it look like in the back? Because usually in the back they would show you, do like wee photos of what the game looked like,
Yeah.
right? So he's looking at the back, he's like, oh, it looks class. And I'm going, that's just right. And there's fucking no idea. Look, he's like, please, just trust me, right? So we'll get home, put it on. Do you know the PlayStation games used to be a video? This, like, at the start of the game, like a
wee intro kind of thing.
right?
Yeah.
The intro video starts and it's class, and he's looking at me like, fucking told you. And then the game started, and the characters were that size, and it was like, what did you call those wee fucking the wee strategy games? You click and the guy walks, and then you build a wee castle. And I've never got over it, like, because it was the only fiver I had, and we had it for like a week.
Shite.
And I'm like, I'll just sit here and play Tomb Raider on my own now, because fuck you.
Those were the days, though.
Nah, I don't miss
No?
that. I've got a VR headset. You can watch porn and play zombies like that.
VR porn.
That was terrifying. Don't do it.
That's the future.
It's not. That's more depressing than
future.
social media.
Nobody's going to have a partner in the future. Like,
Class. I'm up for that.
Are you?
I'm up for the idea of a realistic sex robot that just like I don't think I'd have a single problem of being able to have a hot as fuck woman I can just turn off. Well, I can do that anyway. But I mean shut down.
Just take a boxing glove off
Yeah.
in front of her.
Yeah. Just whisper in her ear, you're not getting paid the same as me, and she can't do anything about it. I'm going to try and write this bit at the minute. I don't know about. It's like a rant about. Have you seen that thing on TikTok where it's women listening to headphones, and it's a guy going, and it's the like down, 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 down. No, the
I
fucking
think so.
Arctic Monkeys music, but it's a guy being like, yeah, good girl, and it's all these women being like, oh my god, that is fucking so sexy. And I'm like, you just don't get equal rights anymore. That's it. That's feminism's fucking done. You did all this arguing for we want to vote, we want to wear trousers, we want to smoke, we want to have jobs, we want abortions, we want to get paid the same, we want to be in charge of a country, and some man goes, good girl, and you're all,
I've seen the ones of like fellas chopping wood, and
They're classic
it's
in
like the. But then I seen it one day, right, for the first time, and the girl was like, just this is what fucking viral is nowadays.
Aye.
Somebody just watches another video and reacts
that's
to it.
bananas. Do you know there's porn of that? There's porn of a girl who watches porn. It's like
does she
Inception
do?
wanks. She's watching porn with headphones, she's going, oh fuck it, oh my god. And then she's like, and you're like, I'm actually trying to see the porn. Can you send me a link to the video you're watching? Because what you're doing is shite.
It's like watching tennis.
You blue herd freak, yeah.
The future's fucked.
And it is insane.
I know we sound like two old men just sitting here being like, remember back in May Day.
And you had to go up to a girl and fucking spike your drink yourself. You wanted to get pulled. Yeah, just at times you had to beat the doll up and down William Street. You wanted to get the liquors off her. That was a good old days. But we were happy. Bullets singing about and bombs going off. But you know what? If you did go up to a girl and say, I dare you to suck on, she'd say, what? You hit her in the fucking jaw and took her home with you. Ah, it was a good old days, that. Then sure, Arlene Foster got involved, ruined the whole fucking thing.
You wonder what she's up to nowadays. Is she just lying up, just smoking
She's on
rollies?
TV News. She's like a
Oh, is she?
yeah.
I thought she'd be just watching the fucking downfall of the DUP and unionism and just being
Man, the
like,
downfall of the whole fucking thing. Like, yeah, she's on GB News, like, but Eamon Holmes and Nigel Farage, and there's loads of people on. You ever watch that?
no.
It's essentially adverts for GB News. The whole, like on the radio, it just plays intros. There just doesn't seem to be anybody on it.
Right.
It's
clips or what, or is it just it's not actual news, is it? Or is
yeah.
it like,
So the radio station's just
like
like
magazine shows
Nigel
almost?
Farage Tuesdays at 1, and then it's like Mark Dowden Wednesdays at 4. Then Eamon Holmes in the morning, and then Arlene Foster lifting weights, and but it's just that on repeat. And I'm going, when is the news starting? I want to hear what the GB News is. Like,
yeah. Apparently it's really right wing though, isn't it?
there's some weird shit in it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple of clips. Remember the guys at Neil Oliver, the Scottish history buff. You want to like he would be on TV years. He was always wearing a big wax raincoat with long hair.
No, I don't think
You'd
so.
you'd recognise me and seen him, but he's on it now, and he's kind of like, he's like borderline conspiracy theorist stuff about like it was during like anti-lockdown, anti-mask, and all sort of stuff. And obviously I find that interesting, but then it goes from like that. So some guy being like, I'm kind of not happy about anybody, to Nigel Farage like, send them back on the boats. I shouldn't be here. And you're like, fuck
That's
off.
not Farage, is it?
That's as good as
Farage?
that's the best I can do. It's actually more Alan Partridge now that I really think about it.
Aha!
Yeah. Nigel Farage.
That's fucking brilliant.
Knowing me, knowing you, Farage.
Do you like Alan Partridge?
Yeah,
Do you?
I was never really like, I never watched it when it was on. I think I was too young, but like it was a bit of an age thing. I've watched it since, and I'm like, this is very funny. Like,
I really like him, but I've seen the updated one that he did. I think it was about a year or two ago, and I watched it for about 15 minutes, and I was all, nah, this isn't for me. Like, which is a shame because I really wanted to like it. The Mid Morning Matters, I think it was called, the wee radio thing he did with your guy, whose name I forget, who's a comedian who's really good.
yeah, because he popped up on the TV show. Was he like
Yeah, I think so.
the guy on the screen?
Yeah.
I think the hardest I've laughed at any Alan Partridge joke. There's a bit in Alpha Papa the movie where he's like, he goes to shake hands with like a young guy. I think the young guy's black. He's a black radio DJ, and he goes to shake his hand, and the black guy goes for a fist bump, and he's like, "Oh yes, the fist bump, of course." And he goes through all this fucking stuff about how you can spread germs through a handshake, and the fist bump was originally invented to stop people spreading germs, but also to give a sign of respect. And then the guy walks away, and he realizes he hasn't been cool, and he turns around and just goes, "Of course, you can still get shit on your fist." And I like kicked the table over.
You loved it?
That was hilarious.
When was the last time you really fucking laughed watching comedy on TV?
As in,
Just in general, just anything you've seen that's
it's been a
been
while.
funny
Like,
on TV.
uh,
It's usually mostly on your phone now, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
like-
even then, it's something stupid.
there was a point where I couldn't stop watching New Girl, do the Zoe Deschanel
Yeah.
sitcom. That to
series,
me is one of the
yeah.
most underrated comedies of all time.
Right.
Because the characters are all just fucking mental. So there's one where like one of them's afraid of a spider. So have you ever seen it at all? No. Well, like
No, no.
he's real muscly, real good looking guy, and there's a spider in the house, and he fucking hates spiders. So he's like freaking out, and he jumps up on a chair and he's like, "Get it! Look at him!" And he goes, "He's licking his lips." That fucking killed me. And he says like, what if he descends in my mouth? He descends from the ceiling with his butt rope. Again, fucking sent me insane.
Class. And what's it on? It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Is it?
I'm trying to think of
Edition
anything
or
else that's
something.
really like.
Do you laugh at stand up on TV?
I haven't seen stand up on TV in a long, like like specials and stuff.
Yeah.
I laugh at, but I tend to now have this weird thing of like I'm more like, oh wow, that was good.
But that's it. Is good becoming the new LOL? If you know what I mean. Like, is do you know?
No,
do
I
you,
think
do
it's
you watch...
different. I think it's different because we're comedians. Do you know what I mean? To me,
Yeah.
it's like if I see a stand up bit that I think's class, I think it must be like a musician hearing a guitar riff and going, oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck me.
yeah. That's just all over the spectrum. No, that don't make sense.
But do you know what I mean? Like, do you know the way nowadays you see a comedian do a bit even live, and you're all, fuck, that's hilarious. Or they come off and you're all, that was hilarious. But you didn't actually laugh out loud. You just almost like appreciated it or recognized it for what it was, but
again,
without laughing.
But again, I think it's because we're comedians. Like I find that if I finish my set, I'll laugh at stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm emceeing, I haven't turned my brain off yet.
Yeah.
And if I'm on after, I'm not even fucking paying attention.
Yeah. I'm the same, because Diona would, like, if we're gigging together and Diona goes on before me, on the car on the way home, Diona would be all, did you see that bit I did about this? And she'd ask me about something, and I'm like, see, to be honest, everything's a fucking blur to me until I come off stage.
Absolutely, it definitely happens. Like,
yeah. You don't have time to think of anybody else's stuff.
Yeah. I saw Ross Brown do a really good joke on Saturday night about hummingbirds. It's like a hummingbird flaps its wings 50,000 times a minute or something like that. He's like, they're just standing like a foot off the ground in front of a plant. Just bzzz. He goes, there's crows going past, like, you're doing it all wrong, boy. Take your time. Take your time. Look at me, I'm not even fucking flapping. That really got, I laughed my head off at that. But again, the longer I do stand up, the more I laugh at stupider shit.
Really? Do you think that's your sense of humour, though?
Yeah, I think there's like, do you ever see the video of Louis C.K. talking about the funniest thing he ever seen? He said there was a guy, an open mic guy playing a guitar, and he sang the song "Sitting on a Cat 'Cause I'm Gay." And that's funny. It's still. So there's definitely things like that I still just fucking. I'll laugh at it out of nowhere.
I think that's what I try and model my stand-up round, is I try and be my own favourite comedian. That's what I feel like I'm setting out to be, and have done the past couple of years. That's why I do all the music shit and the props and things like that, because I think that's what makes me laugh. You know, I'm not necessarily doing things that how would you put it?
Makes audiences laugh. I've noticed that.
Fuck off.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Sorry. But yeah,
I don't know what it is with me. Every so often I'll slag a comedian off and immediately go, well, I didn't mean that. As if comedians need to explain things.
No, not at all. I don't think I could be offended. Do you think you could be offended by something somebody says?
It's genuinely like
like see when I die, see all this thoughts and prayers with my family, and I want people to fucking slag the shit out of whatever has happened to me.
I hopefully, well, I definitely will be diagnosed with something that's going to kill me, and I will hopefully have enough time to plan my own funeral.
Right.
So I want to make a video where it's just me going, whoa. You know what I mean? When they're lowering me into their grave, we've rigged up a system of pulleys, so my hand comes out of the coffin like that.
That'd be class.
Or have a lid with a big dick on it.
Got wood.
It took me years to get that close. There's some boy on there.
Did you see the video of the Granda who died? I think it was down south. And he had like a
voice box.
Bluetooth
That's too far. Like, that's too far. Let me out. That's fucking way too far.
Brilliant. But that's what it's all about. That's like, see all these fucking people when somebody dies and they're all, have some respect and all, and you're like, this is what it should be about. It's about having a laugh and moments of fucking pain and sadness.
You definitely don't laugh more, in my opinion, than when you're at a wake. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's when it's inappropriate to laugh. That's when you can't fucking help yourself but laugh the most and the hardest.
I had an auntie died there in fucking April, and the priest was at the funeral was reading out all their, because there's like my ma's 6 or 7 brothers and sisters, and she was reading out everybody's names and got one of my auntie's names wrong. I was standing sitting behind my auntie, and he got her name wrong, and like she was obviously next in the lineup, and he got her name wrong, and her head just shut up like everybody behind her's just howling like. Then the priest sang Italian at the graveside and didn't tell anybody he was going to do it. And we were like...
Nessun Dorma, was it?
Man, so my auntie during COVID...
Nessun Dorma?
Took 2 fucking Italian lessons.
No way.
And the priest got wind of it and was like... Buena. Right. So he said, didn't fucking tell anybody. And he wasn't doing it for her, he was doing it for him. So one of those priests was like, wait, you see what I can do? And he's like, And my auntie, whose name he couldn't remember, put her head into her husband's back and pretended she was crying. Nobody could look at each other. It was one of those like a signal went out. The entire family went, just don't make eye contact with anybody. Or like that. The one time me and my dad put our mask back on.
I had this vision, right? If I ever get my own sketch show on TV, the first ever sketch that I'm going to do is going to be, you know, like it's going to come up on the screen like, you know, 2087, and it's going to be just all old people standing around a grave, and it's going to be a priest going, Joe, we arrest Martha today, or whatever, fucking Francine or whatever her name is. I tried to give it an updated name there, like it was Rihanna, right? Where, you know, Rihanna's died and she's fucking gone to heaven, she's in a better place, and also she goes into the ground, and then we fucking Maggie goes up and she goes, I just want to sing, you know, a wee song in her name, you know, and the priest goes, okay, take it away, and then she's all so I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, and starts singing like Tupac or just something like from our day. But you do the way like you go to a wake nowadays or a funeral and they're going, I'm going to sing a wee bit of Tom Jones. She loved a wee bit of Tom Jones, and everyone fucking sings something. And I would love to do like an updated version where it's some fucking grime song.
I just want people to know that even if I die of like cirrhosis of the liver, be drunk as fuck at my wake like the entire time.
Yeah.
Because see the idea of he didn't want anybody drinking. I might do that.
Yeah.
Like let on you don't want anybody drinking, and then just open a can or like because like my auntie, I don't even know where the word came about, but for some reason nobody was allowed to drink at my auntie's wake, and my auntie would have gave you a drink when you were 9. Like she would have been like, "Fuck, take it then on," and then at one point because she had because she had cancer, at one point we had all like so she basically asked all of her male nephews, can you get me drugs? And turns out we all could. Right. So she was like, can you get me like wee edible marijuanas? And I'm like, absolutely, right? I tried some in the house, and when I eventually delivered them to her, she was like, what's the crack? And I went, go easy. Like I think I went, if you wanna if you've no appetite, have a third. If you're in pain, have a half. And if you want to forget your dad and listen to music, eat the whole fucking thing. But so the word got out that everybody got her all these edibles. So one by one, the last night of the week, we were doing the all-nighter. One by one, a cousin would go upstairs and try and find the drug. Like, these lads alright? Oh, I just thought I'd cry upstairs.
Just wanted to be alone.
Trying to find fucking weed everywhere. Is he moving that cistern?
Smelling it now.
Really?
That's funny. How long ago was this?
It was April there. Yeah, about 5-6 months ago. It was one of those like we're sitting, you know, like she didn't take all of it. That's what killed me. She went up a day.
Just fucking
I just had the fucking world's worst whitey.
What do you want to happen to you when you die? Are you looking the full burial, the full wake, the full?
No, I've said like do a wake, absolutely, do a session.
Yeah.
But cremate me.
Right.
And then
nowhere near a chapel or.
Nah, I don't
church,
worry about stuff now.
Nothing.
And then what I would love is just get like like a big fucking catapult, right? Put my ashes in like a pillow or something, or like make a ball out of it, and just fuck it off a cliff, just fucking dunk, or even better, fuck it off a cliff and then have two fellas go pull, and just shoot them into the absolutely. Because one thing that does freak me out is I don't want to be buried because I do a weird thing of like just in
Even
case
though
I'm
you're
not dead,
dead?
even though I'm
Yeah.
dead, just in case fucking. Make
Shit
sure
crawling through your
I'm
ears.
dead.
Yeah.
Put a stake through my heart, guard over my neck, like the full shebang. I wouldn't be up for any religious stuff at all, like.
Yeah.
But then again, we'll see what happens. If I get really sick, I'm like, oh Jesus, help me! I'm sorry.
Can anyone get me any edibles?
Listen, Lord, I'm sure you're aware of a wild pile of wanking. I was thinking of you the whole time. Didn't mean it.
My parents, you see, they're giving their bodies to medical science in Queens.
Oh, nice one.
So I haven't actually had this conversation with them yet about like when they die, do we get a couple of hours with their body, like where it's fucking lying on the kitchen floor, or do you know, do you put them on a pillow, or do you just phone somebody and somebody comes and takes them away, and you're just like,
so we creepy.
what?
Yes, master. Thank you, sir. I have another one for you, master. It's a Hegarty.
Just fucking. All right, miss.
The fucking death of one of my parents, I'm going to be watching back to this podcast just fucking crying and laughing at the same time.
I would do medical science if there was a chance we could bring me back to life, but if it was to see somebody else, it's like, fuck that.
No interest.
No, maybe, I don't know. I think I'm a donor, like, so take my organs, absolutely. But when it comes to the actual fucking body, but a wee bit of theatre towards the end wouldn't be, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just a massive bra and have, like, if I have kids, just have my kids pulling it back. Bye bye, daddy.
I would love that, but it's like just the ashes, and you would do it on the top of a mountain where it's really windy. Where it comes back in all their faces. You go, fuck off, Daddy.
Yeah. Just hear my voice in the wind and my wife, just one more fucking look. Just want to come in your face one more time. Never forget.
I love just like make fireworks out of your body.
I've seen
When you
people
go
do
up
that.
there, just,
I remember seeing a thing.
Yeah, that would be it.
3 squealers. That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a big Gandalf firework of a microphone. Like. He's the way to tell jokes in heaven now. Pick-a-boo, Jesus. I remember seeing a thing of like, it was what the heck, I'm going to have to fucking go soon because we're going to do a wee meeting.
I have to go soon too.
But there was a documentary about like soldiers in Afghanistan, and that was one of the things that one of the guys did was had his ashes put into like a fucking, I think the fireworks basically spelled his name out, and then sent a rocket up with his ashes in them, and I'm like, that's amazing, but that's too easy for me. I want just to have to work for this. Do you know what I mean? Like, what, you carry a whole bag of them up. 3-day retreat.
Do you know, I was just thinking there, I think it'd be brilliant. Do you know, if you like became an amputee, I would get like, say my leg was cut
I
off.
don't think you become an amputee. You end up an amputee. You
Well,
can't
if
become
something
an
happens,
amputee.
yeah.
Like you become an architect.
So it's okay. Well, if you end up an amputee,
Wasn't always an amputee. I just really wanted it. I just really went for it.
what do you want to really go up?
I got tired of wearing watches, and I thought, you know what? What's the point?
I would love to have a full funeral for that limb. Do you get
I'll
it
do
from-
something like that. Yeah. One bollock. Sweet tiny cup. Second lift. Right.
That'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Full
People going
funeral.
up a stairs trying to find your balls, drugs.
Let's leave it there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, and we'll
Hey, let's do it again sometime.
I know everyone says that, but literally we're fucking 5 minutes from each
I know,
other now,
it's
do you
true.
know what I mean? So it saves a whole trip down the motorway.
We'll do one drunk someday.
Oh, big time.
I've done a podcast drunk a long time.
Big time.
It was fun.
1,000,000%.
Class.
1,000,000%.
Did it?
When you get back from Oz,
7th of November.
sweet.
Uh,
My birthday's 1st of December. We maybe do something around that.
did a corporate 1st December. I'm in the waterfront the 2nd December.
Who with?
Me?
Just on your own?
Oh, Robin McShane's Dublin. That doesn't count, like. No one gives a fuck. That's it. Like,
I know.
but no, we'll figure something out for your
Yeah.
birthday and that. What are you going to be?
39.
39? Fuck.
Scary, isn't it?
So you look alright though, man. Do you mean you'll be fine?
Like, I've said this to a fucking 1,000 people, but my son James started university a couple of weeks ago in Liverpool.
Bananas, man.
I went over and sort of like helped him. We should have wrapped this up.
Yeah,
Told you this after.
See you later.